first 6 months of the year, one batch of students go to school, and then the other half of the year they are home, and then another batch goes. So it was messy, and like
Okay.
some people were home for a long time, not doing anything.
Okay,
It kind
Nana,
of delayed the system.
you know when they brought this thing up, I know during the election time they brought all this stuff up, and it seemed as though it was more like propaganda. Me, I'm not doing politics here. I'm just no. I'm not doing politics, even though I do politics, but I'm not doing politics here. What I'm doing is we're being real.
Yeah.
You had friends that they claimed that the double track system was fantastic, and they did a good job. How you know when you speak to your friends, how did they impact them in terms of being motivated? Because if you're going to uni and you know, or you're going to school and you know that okay, you're breaking up for 1 week or 2 weeks or holiday, so you're going back. But this one, you go for 3 months, you come and sit at home for another 3 months.
Yeah.
That disconnect, how did it impact on the kids and how did it impact on the families?
So I can't speak too much to it, but I know like a few people that I had spoke to, they were like it was boring because you don't have anything to do, and the way the Ghanaian system is like over here, you could get a job like a part-time job, at least like occupy your time. We don't do that there, so you're literally just at home doing nothing unless you want to do like an internship or something like that, but it's not like regular. The thing is on the other side, when we were in school, because my school didn't subscribe to that program, so then we were always saying, oh, like we're so jealous of them, like they have all this time at home. You know, it looked nice, like 3 months at home doing nothing, like it's an ideal. But then in the long run, it benefited us being in school more than being at home for that long. They weren't doing anything, and it was a waste of time because in that few months you could have covered so much.
Yeah.
But you are losing out on like, you know, material,
Precisely.
like and opportunities because you are home for that long.
Oh well, I'm guessing there was a holiday for the lecturers though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
They
No,
must-
actually,
they
no.
weren't.
They were in school. They were teaching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
what
double
happens
track.
is
It's just
the
like
first 3 months, is it
it's like group A, group E. So like CK is group A, I'm group B. So he goes to school for the first 3 months. When he's done, then my group comes. So yeah,
Okay.
there's no break
Okay.
for the teachers.
Because they didn't do that here, isn't it? It's just
Actually,
online.
everybody, yeah, or everyone starts at the same time.
Yeah.
Or not, unless you start your course late. If you specifically start your course late, then you will come in with the January group, and then you will finish at the end of the year. But yeah, no, normally it's the same. Everybody starts at the same time in September.
Yeah.
okay? So there's a question: what are the key differences between education system in the Western world and in the developing world? What have you noticed?
Okay. So for the developing world, I would say that because of my high school experience and my uni experience, I was privileged to have gone to a private school. So then I was able to see elements of both the developed world and the developing world because we did IGCSE, is basically the UK system, and we were allowed to pick you know, subjects that are based on our strengths. So we're like tailoring our education to make it like more suitable to us. And then the IB program, which I mentioned, was from Switzerland. The same thing, but even with that, we had to do like after-school activities. We had to engage in community service. We had this thing called theory of knowledge, so it's like testing your critical thinking skills. We had an extended essay, which was like a mini dissertation. So all of these things that we did, it kind of prepared me better, especially coming here. Like I see the benefits in the long run because I had access to so many opportunities and resources. But then it's just a small majority of us in the country that have access to this. Like everyone else is following the Ghanaian system, and the Ghanaian system is very like standardized exams, rote learning. Like you don't really have any flexibility or any freedom to, you know, do things outside of whatever has been given to you. So then
So it's more rigid.
yeah, it's
basically.
really rigid. And I think the cultural elements also like play into it because in Ghana there's a huge respect for authority, and over here you're able to express yourself freely with your teachers, but in Ghana it's very like
Teachers, right?
like yeah,
very regimented.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's a
Whereby the
hierarchy.
teacher says it, and
And
if
you
the
have
teacher
to-
is wrong, that's it.
Yeah.
I
Like-
remember, you know, when you said that, I remember there was one time that I think my son was in, I think when he was in primary school, and there was a teacher that kept saying compartment, and I remember he said it was compartment, and I remember he said he kept saying it, and then he went in and took the dictionary, and then open it and show the teacher. And the teacher was like, leave it. But the funny thing is, in Ghana, if you did that,
you're in trouble. Like you're in big trouble because they feel like it's disrespectful when you do stuff like that. Like when you're correcting a teacher, when you're trying to draw their attention to something. Because in our minds, so like the way we've been programmed, is like the adults know best. So whatever they say is
I know it.
yeah, like it's final, and it shouldn't be that way. Because over here, I've realized that like we have a very like
open door policy.
Yeah,
an open door policy whereby you're given the opportunity to express
talk,
yourself.
express yourself, and stuff like that. And I also realized that in Ghana, we, because of the rigid learning system, there's no like practicality to what you're learning. So it's solely theory, and then that's it. Yeah. But over here, it's very practical. They allow you to do like, certain things. They allow you to apply your knowledge.
You apply whatever is going on. Because I remember when I did, one thing I found out was, anyway, probably that is me. I thought masters, I did my degree and I thought it was cool. And then I did masters and I felt masters was difficult. Because I realized that you applied the theory to the daily stuff. So if anything was going on, you actually applied that. Yeah. Whereas in the degree, it was more the theory aspect.
Yeah.
You just use it. And this is where you come in, and I'll come to you, Karen. When you look at the template that they use for education, because now when you spoke to me, you talked about Switzerland, your teacher was Australian. Do you feel that the multifaceted structures in education in Africa aids the students in Africa, especially in Ghana?
I don't think so.
Because it's confusing.
Yeah. And it's too fixed. Like, it's like they don't try to explore beyond that.
Yeah, it's what they know, and
it's
that's
like
the system is the system,
and it
it's
can be
been like that,
yeah.
and they don't want to change it either. And it's so like archaic because obviously times are changing.
It's draconian, basically.
You need to change with the times.
And I think another thing is like they don't adapt or try to adhere to different like learning styles.
Yeah.
So obviously, let's just say not everyone. Here we have like maybe exams in BTEC for people that are not capable of doing exams. You have the BTEC option. For them, that doesn't exist. You may have some people that have some learning difficulties. You may get some extra time to do your exams, ADHD, all that kind of stuff. For them back home, that doesn't exist. So it's true. Like, for example, and then it's quite sad because when you go back home and you feel like you've not done well or you're not capable. Like I remember back in the day. My cousin, she's like 30 something now, and the way they used to announce the results on the radio, live,
where
internationally, not back home in Cameroon, they would announce everybody's results on the radio, live, as in like, there's no way you're getting away with. If you failed, sorry, and you're gonna have to wait there for about 2 hours, 3 hours. If they've called your name, they'll tell you what you've got. That is so embarrassing. Can you imagine?
I wouldn't want to go to
school. Why would you want to? Your friends laughing at you. Here you can even conceal your paper. Maybe what you get? Yeah.
Because I remember there was one time when I was doing my masters. There was one lady that she goes, I got these, I've got this, and then. Later on, we found out that she failed all of it. And then what happened was she had to resit to do the masters. And I remember there was one subject, OPM and APM. I was struggling when I was doing my stuff. Yeah. So there was one that I had to defer. And there's one that I failed. And I know, on TV. Look at me. Anyway. Yeah. So, and I remember when everybody was like, and the funny thing is, everybody was like, I've done well. I've done well. And then me, I'm going around. And then in the end, I found out. I ain't even gonna lie. That most of them failed half of it. Because I remember when we started, there was about 30 of us. About 35. In the end, we ended up about 11 in the class.
Wow.
And you know what? What made me so proud of me doing my master's was most of these people were young people. They were 20 something. And I'm like, bro.
Do you know what it is? No, but the thing is that, like, I think it is motivating when I see elders in classes.
Elders, what that?
No. I say elders because sometimes literally when I was in uni,
I have got to commit a crime.
You didn't really see. No, but the thing is, you can actually still have people that are like in their 40s,
Yeah,
50s,
yeah.
60s.
There's a lot of them.
And you're
Yeah.
thinking, oh, what are you still doing in class?
Yeah.
Let me tell you
What am
something.
I still doing in class?
No. As in, like, not you. No. No, but what I'm trying to say is that the mentality.
I hear you.
It's like-
the thing is, the reason why I'm saying this is because, for example, you guys have finished uni right now.
Yeah.
So the transition into going into the real corporate world, let me tell you something. When I got my first corporate job, I felt like I didn't even know how to write a letter. Huh? As in, I was out of uni for, I think, 2-3 years. Because I was, in the middle of that, I was just trial and error with other different types of like roles and jobs. I said, I'm not going to do corporate yet because I'm probably going to be committed to this for the next 20-30 years. So let me try and do other things in the meantime. I felt like I didn't know how to send an email. I felt like my communication, my grammar, I felt like probably went out the window. So I feel like it is very necessary to keep on top of like education, because to be honest, keeping your mind running, I feel like it probably elongates your lifespan.
Your lifespan,
Still
definitely.
continuously knowing how to read. This is why jobs still ask for maths and English. Do you still have that as a key skill? Because not everyone has it.
Yeah.
You can at 40, 50, you can go to a receptionist job, admin. You still might not even be able to do the basics. You see what I'm saying? You're thinking you finish school. Sometimes you're out of it for so long. It's a bit intimidating. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
You know,
Like,
what you said is true, because
Yeah.
I remember I finished my degree. That was in tourism. I finished that in 2005. 2005. So I remember when I went back in 2016, my brain just went blank. Not like when I didn't have it. I remember that you're saying that you listen to lectures and you see when it feels like you're zoning out. And I literally, I'm sitting in class and they say something. And then we had this OPM and APN. I ain't even gonna lie. You know when you go into the class, yeah? And it's like my makeup is crisp, my wig is on straight. And when I come out of that class, you think I'll be smoking weed. I ain't even gonna lie. It felt like my brain was on fire.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is when I had to redo it again, no, I deferred one and I had to redo it again. And it's like now, one thing that I appreciate about education and masters was like, it's like there are things that like when it's on the news, you understand that, like KPIs.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell a KPI was. And even I'd done my degree in it. Yeah.
it's tough.
Key performance indicators. I'm kind of thinking. And it's like you go onto stuff and then they're saying stuff and in the news now. So now when you're on the news, they're saying something, you know what they're talking about. And I felt really proud of myself.
Yeah.
But besides your experience in uni,
Yeah.
I know you went to Ghana, you did some work experience and stuff.
Yeah.
When you check the mindset, how do you think can change? The reason why I'm throwing it at you is with you, you've got both sides and you sat in an important stuff in like the House of Parliament and stuff. And when you look at the mindset, do you think education and our sense of how our perception of things changes in terms of education was that if people were saying, oh, this person is in the House of Parliament, you expect some form of decorum or some sense of eloquence from them. Do you think that has made a difference?
Do you know what it is? I feel like it's definitely different mindsets from there here and there. I think there in Ghana especially, there's definitely a survival mindset, especially when you finish uni, because I feel like they throw you into the deep end. They have national service, and then after that is nothing. You have to go out and you have to search for your job, and they have national service, and it's
for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
That as a bare minimum before you can actually start working.
Yeah. But it's like if you don't secure a job after that, then that's it. It's survival mode from then on straight. And I feel like that's a mindset that you have from young, and then obviously the system has been a system for how many years, and that grows up or not, whatnot. So when it comes to now, adults being in meetings with like IMF and all of these people,
Because you sat in some of the IMF meetings,
I feel like it's still the survivalist mindset. It's still, I want to speak over you, I want to get my point across and whatnot, because it's like you feel like you're constantly at battle with progression, instead of like that, not to say the more westernized mindset that it's more like community, but I feel like it's just quite it's quite
your survival instinct kicks in and it's everybody for themselves, God for us, all kind of thing.
I've got 2 questions for you actually. First one is that when you went out there, was it for a project? Was it with an organisation?
So I went for my placement year. For university, so I did about 4
because I
months
encouraged him to go in it.
That's good.
I told him that
She
it was a
did,
good
she actually did.
experience.
Good experience.
Which it probably was, isn't
Oh, it
it?
was a great experience. I actually loved it, and that's made me love Ghana. Like, I want to go there all the time. Like, yeah, but it was good. Yeah, I went there.
It was good.
Where's my 10%?
Okay,
My
so
pocket.
when you went now, because you're saying that like it was quite hard to find out. Yeah, that it was quite hard to find out like in terms of improvement and how like not find out, but then you just said that they're very like hard-headed. They were very strict on what they do. They were used to. Is that, for example, I don't know if you heard of
It's
this
not that
saying.
they're very strict, but they're selfish
Not
in
strict.
what they do.
They're selfish, yeah. It's not even strict. But do you know what it is? I think it's like, have you ever heard of this saying? Is that when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do.
Yeah.
So they're not
Yeah.
open to change or
Yeah,
anything
I've
like
seen
that.
that.
But at the same time, I'll counteract that and say that being someone that wasn't born in Ghana, how would you measure that change, even if they were to
If they were
implement
to
it?
implement it,
yeah.
yeah.
How would you measure it? Because going into it, you could think that the standard of it is the same.
Yeah.
But someone from that was born in the 70s or 80s can tell you that I've actually witnessed some difference here, some changes. So how would you measure that?
Like I said, I feel like this is just you gotta use numbers to measure it. I'm not saying that the economy itself in Ghana is poor, but it's. I feel like with time, when you see economic growth, that's the change there. I feel like everything, especially to do with Parliament and to do with the government, you're here to implement changes to do better for the country, and I feel like it's only time that can tell. To see how the economy changes over months, over years, and I feel like that's the only way of measuring.
You pinpointed there, you said the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Stats,
Yeah.
the economy, economics.
Yeah.
You guys tell me, you guys are both Ghanaian, yeah? You studied economics. What skills do you feel like you've acquired, or what would you say now studying and doing what you've done? What could you say you could use to now, I'm sure you know where I'm going.
Change the narrative.
To change the narrative in Ghana as it pertains to economics, because that's the center of it all, isn't it? It's all about the economy, how it runs, strengthening that. Do you feel like you've got a place somewhere in Ghana? Obviously, it's not a one-man job, but enough power or something like that. Or
Enough
even
knowledge.
change, enough knowledge, encouragement as well to go out there, and not just go out there, and I don't mean just put your foot in it for 2 weeks, but to be consistent in it and maybe serve for a period of time to see that.
I feel like with the right motivation, anybody can do it. Like but your heart has to be in it in Ghana, because once you get there, it's like I said,
it's a dog eat dog kind of thing.
Yeah, it's survivalist mentality. So I can't just walk into Ghana and say, do you know what, I'm gonna try and try my best to try and help change whatnot, because they'll eat you up. They will eat you up. It's a survivalist mentality. Nobody wants somebody else to come in from another country and tell them how to run this. And I feel like
No. You can say that, yeah, but is it not just
with me? You know when you said that,
of where they were saying that, like, is it just me, or are they giving out Ghanaian citizenship, like the skit?
Oh yeah. They were giving.
They
go
are.
down to people that
No, let me tell you the joke. They give it to like people
The
from
diaspora,
America.
like-
No, and is it when I say diaspora? It's more like if you're an American citizen, not a Ghanaian American citizen. Like if you're an American citizen, that you say you're coming back to find your roots, you are not a threat to them.
Yeah.
But if you are a British born, a Ghanaian born, American, whatever, they find you as a threat, because when he went to do his placement, they thought he was there to get a job or to spy on people. So it took. I'm not lying. Yeah. So it was later on that they found out that he wasn't there to take anybody's job.
Yeah.
He was just there innocently. So you know when he said doggy dog, the funny thing is this is where I remember there was I think many years ago. Was it last year or 2 years when JM came? I remember I asked him a question, and I don't think he really did answer my question. And because I asked him that if he was to stand and to become president, that's the president now.
Okay.
Yeah. I asked him, what can he do for the youth? Do you understand me? In collaboration. And the reason why I asked that was there are loads of young people that go to Ghana during the Christmas time. They say dirty December, whereby they
I wouldn't know.
that they spend thousands and thousands of pounds. Like in that 3 weeks, they can spend up to about 4,000 or 3,000 pounds.
Per person.
Whereas that money to me if there's a good program that can be invested
Rather
into and you can have fun, but that money can go towards projects.
Yeah.
And that your placement that you did. Yeah. When I encouraged him, there are loads of, my son went to do his placement in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So
Yeah,
that was what actually gave me that idea that I said, you can go to Ghana and do your placement.
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
That was a good idea.
And that is monies that the government would pay somebody to actually come and do the placement. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
In Ghana, which is trying to get that sense of resource to develop projects, because I know the people that they've come here and they've gone to uni and they say when we go back we don't get jobs. Now I feel that these are certain resources that can be put in place that can be used. Do you understand me? In that. So when I say this, does that even actually help if you guys are going to go to Ghana and say, okay,
Just a party.
Yeah.
that you want to do a project and you want to, because with you you've got friends in Ghana, with you anyway you made friends, but you've got friends here that you can use that to either build up businesses or to increase productivity in terms of education jobs. Do you think that could work?
Well, yeah, I think to
a
an
point.
extent it can, because education in Ghana is very limited. So, like CK said, like that's what we've grown up with, because we've been told one thing for a very long time. So it's very hard to break out of what you've been told. But then for like the Dirty December and stuff, you know, I think, and this is my opinion, most of the youth that come and that are already in the country, they are not thinking about, oh, like, you know, December, we're come to work, we're trying to, you know, contribute to, they just want to have fun. They just want to enjoy themselves, because the year has been tough. We've been waiting, like people save up money, a lot of money to come, just to enjoy. And the government, they were saying that they were going to invest this money in some projects, in some tourism projects and stuff. And I mean, we're yet to see the things that they did. But I think instead of redirecting those funds to like those projects, like the building projects or stuff, I mean, they are good.
Yeah, but they should go more into education.
Yes.
With me, that's what I'm
Education
saying.
is
If they're at the conference, sorry to
Yeah.
cut you, but if they're at the conference, I'm just trying to navigate what you're saying.
Yeah.
If they're at the conference, let's say they do a 2-day conference, and they say, because you guys, you've got your Instagram, you got your stuff,
Yeah.
so you guys are running it. Do you understand? So you guys can say, oh, afterwards we can go out and something, but you have sort of like a few hours. You have a presentation whereby you can present it to the youth that, okay, if you invest in this is what you're going to get out. What don't you think that can change the narrative?
Yeah,
I
I mean, in Ghana,
No, go on.
they recently did a national education forum. So I think the whole aim of that was to engage the people and like the Ministry of Education, Get Fund, all these places too.
What about the people from the diaspora? That was what I was talking about. Because if you get the people from the diaspora, because now the people in the country don't really have the resources.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that if you've got something, like somebody's come and spend $3,000, yeah, and then you can at least get at least $1,000 of it gradually.
It's relative though. It's relative to the person that has actually come in themselves. Because if that's not your mindset, at the end of the day, not everybody has the mindset of investing in something like that could really blossom in Ghana and whatnot. If you don't have that mindset, then you will never go into Ghana thinking, okay, do you know what? I can put some money here. It's a developing country, and in a few years' time, this could work out for me. So at the end of the day, it's all about the person. Because
But if you're running it, go on.
Sorry, going back to mindset, because I feel like the kind of mindset that people need to have is not a business mindset. It's not. It doesn't need to be a profitable one. It needs to be one that you know you're going to make losses, but you're still going to be comfortable even with your losses, and that you're doing it for the development of your country, your area, your city,
Your community.
your community. Exactly. Like I remember when my mum were having a conversation about Cameroon, and I was telling her that, I want to have a salon back in Cameroon. But she was just like, Zaki, how are you going to make money? Because the people out there, they're going to want to scam you. It's going to be hard to monitor how much money is coming in, your income, your outgoings, all those kind of things. I said, it's not about the money. It's about the development of the area. If someone doesn't start something and you know that there's going to be a loss there, then if you're following just the money aspect of it, you better forget it, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's going to be very hard to track that. So if you're doing it, it's almost got to be a charitable thing, or that you're doing it willingly, and you know you're stepping into it, and this is not a business form of like thing. It's just
to get any profit, basically.
Yeah, it's not profit based.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think a lot of these things probably would have to start with charities. And going back to what you said about like resources, I think that like it's hard for it to be a one-man job. But if
Definitely.
organizations like charities and all that kind of stuff were going and saying, okay, let me offer this equipment, let me offer this teaching that I don't know, whether it may be like, I used to teach 10 or 20 years ago, let me offer like a new style to it, let me do it for 2-3 months without any gain, without anything, because a lot of people's
Like
mentality,
Doctors Without Borders, isn't it?
exactly. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
think for Ghana,
yeah,
like-
that's just what I think, because I feel like if you keep on following the business idea and say that, oh, like I want to go to Ghana to put money in it, put money in it, and I don't really think Dirty December, yes, can have like a bad like attachment to it to a degree, but I also feel like it's bringing a lot of good traction, because it's allowing a lot of people to look at African countries that they
Precisely, especially Ghana.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm trying to say? So even if they start off with infrastructure and buildings and all those kind of things, yes, that could be a little bit annoying, because you're thinking, why are you focusing on those things? But I think as time goes on, if the area starts to look a bit more luxurious and all those kind of things, people would want to start investing in other areas.
I agree.
Do you see what I'm trying to say? So I know it's a slow progress, but Africa is extremely, extremely slow.
Yeah.
It's like you're a camel taking a while to get
100%.
there. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Well, it does, because every year you go back to Ghana, there's
It
more
improves.
developments.
exactly, and I feel like it's somewhat similar to Cameroon, just by a little bit at the same time.
When it's about a little bit,
I say it's little because we still going through a civil war right now.
Oh.
So,
You are?
yeah, we had a genocide 2-3 weeks ago. Not 2-3 weeks ago. Well, 2-3 years ago, and it's still ongoing. But
What was it about?
it's because you know how Cameroon is colonized by the French and English.
Yeah.
So it's a war between the French and English. So the French is trying to dominate the English part, not allow.
And which people are dying? The blacks or the white people?
blacks or white? No. As in, when I say like English, is in like
I hear
Anglophone.
that, but the Anglo-Saxon and all those.
Yeah.
the
Oh, okay.
Franco-
So the
people-
English speaking are dying. Yeah.
So that's
they're
the
coming out and they're
black
wiping
English
out.
speaking.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's the black people that are dying, basically.
Yes, black people are dying. You kill your own, isn't it? You kill your own, which is silly, to be honest. You actually kill your own, which is what they do here anyway.
I think in Ghana, a lot of people are very like laid back, and they always want someone to come and do it. So everyone is just like watching
They want
and waiting for
Someone else
yeah.
to take the
So like
heat.
no one really has the drive. There's no like motivation. There's
The
nothing
money's there.
pushing you to
The
get
money's
up
there.
and then make the difference. Like we can all see the problems. They're like, okay, someone might tweet about it, or I mean they'll talk about it on the news, and then it just like passes by.
But I think
It
it's a
doesn't
black
really-
thing. And you know, the reason why I say it's a black thing, you know, like when you hear that a black boy has been stabbed, a black boy has been shot, we make a lot of noise. And I remember there was one of my shows that there was this young girl that came. She said it's like a dummy system whereby we shout, and then they give us a dummy to keep quiet, and then we just sit in the corner and then we just keep quiet, basically. So I think it's a black mindset whereby it's like when something happens, because I remember this election that we went, everybody was out there, I was out there in Ghana, and they were doing it, and now everybody's like fell back and they're waiting for somebody to do it.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want to take the initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think
But
also because like in Ghana, a lot of I feel like a lot of people have the mindset that everything is concentrated to one like group of people in the country. So they feel like even if we talk or even if we say something,
will change.
nothing's going to change unless those people want it to change. And that is limited. Like it doesn't push anyone to want to step out and do anything. Because recently there was the issue of Galamsey and people were mad about it. People went out
Because
were
Galamsey, you know what
Sorry,
Galamsey
I
is?
was just
It's
about to
like
ask.
illegal
Illegal gold mining.
illegal gold mining.
Illegal gold mining.
Yeah.
Illegal gold
Oh,
mining.
illegal gold mining.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it's like
okay.
destroying water bodies, it's killing people, it's displacing communities and stuff. And I feel like it's been an issue for a long time, and it took a while before people actually got upset and then went out into the streets. And I think that's how Ghanaians are. Like they are really patient till they are not. So then we always let it get to the
I
worst
let
case,
it break to the
Yeah.
breaking point.
and then we start. But like I think that mindset needs to change. It doesn't have to get to that point
That
before.
mindset only changes with education.
Yeah, exactly.
The government is a real issue as well, though. It's a real issue
No,
because
no.
so, as much no, seriously, as much as I'm saying charity, let me tell you something. When it comes to, you can be someone that's as charitable as you are, a good humanitarian or whichever. There's some people, especially within the government, that have so much pride that it's like, yes is yes, no is no.
Yeah.
You could want to go into an area and say, I want to fix this road, I want to tar this road, it has so many potholes and stuff like that. If you have done that without their consent illegally, they will come and dig it back up.
That literally happened.
100%.
Really?
Well, not-
Yes.
But my
So
school,
it's like, yeah. So even if you
terrible.
want to try your best to sometimes put like
Things right.
things right, without their final say,
You're not doing
sometimes
it.
you're not even going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I would say that from the outside looking in, Ghana's doing something right.
Yeah.
They're doing something. No, I would say that because if you look
Is
at
it?
no, seriously, I know you obviously
I
by
do, I
living
think so,
there,
I think
but
so.
yeah, if you look at from us that have lived here and that have been here, even just being an African in general, it was not something to be raving about and being proud about, let alone going there and having foreigners going there. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I can tell you now that Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, South Africa, Kenya, those are like, I feel like my top 5. Now Zanzibar is even starting to climb up. So that's
Rwanda as well.
Tanzania. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So I feel like some of these countries, if you look at them 10, 20 years back, they were not mentioned of.
Yeah.
That was not somewhere that you would collectively say to your group, are you going Ghana? What? Are you going Nigeria? Oh, I'm going Abidjan. Yeah, that's where I'm going for AFCON. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that was not in conversation. I can tell you that for a fact right now. But when it comes to the educational system, I feel like even when we speak about the one how it is here and you're saying resources, I almost feel like the educational system here is almost like baby feeding at the same time, because I feel like you're not touching
Yeah.
up on people's strengths. Like it baby feeds so much to the point to where sometimes, not to be rude, but you can come out a little bit slow and a little bit dumb. I think sometimes the
definitely.
iron needs to be striked hot, and you need to be. Do you get what I mean?
So
So, I
that's
think a
when-
mixture of both is good.
Okay, so that's when you talk about the template. That's why I asked initially.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think the template for education is structured for the African system? Is it? And the reason why I say that is, remember last week we did that fashion show.
Oh yeah.
2 weeks ago, innit?
2 weeks. Yeah.
And the girl was saying that she had a dress that she made,
Yes.
and instead of it, she did it in Ghana.
Yeah.
And the dress was supposed to be the size that she did it for. Apparently, she was supposed to have done it for a size 8. And the style did not fit the westernized look,
Yeah.
so she had to tailor it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But because she wanted to go into fashion, it's like they do it for the Western world, but she went and made her stuff. So the grade that she got
Yeah.
was not equivalent to what she expected.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that we're copying westernized way of education. Does it fit the template for African
Ghana.
country or Ghana?
I don't think so. I think it's good if we're able to integrate it, but not exactly copy it like bar for bar.
100%. Okay.
Yeah, because I mean with the IGCSE system, right? There's already the subjects, the fixed subjects and stuff. But I feel like you were saying something about the language and how it's important. Like in Ghana, we have about 52 languages.
Yeah.
Different languages are being spoken, but for IGCSE, we learn English obviously. Then there's Spanish, French. I think in some countries there's like other languages,
Dialects,
yeah, that you have to learn. So why can't we add our local languages
precisely.
to those subjects? Because even in the IB, there's Spanish, there's French, there's Afrikaans, there's Swahili. You can learn those things.
And there's Yoruba as an international language.
it.
Exactly, and those things you can learn. It's like you can actually pick it and learn it as a subject. But then there's nothing that's being offered for the other African countries. The only African language there is the South African language.
Yeah.
But if they are more inclusive, like if they decide, okay, if you are doing the IB system in Ghana, let's add the local language so you can learn Twi, you can learn Ewega. I think it helps. But then that's even for the international school system. Now, talking about the public school system, I can't even speak to that because I don't know how it looks like now. All I know is that they are doing the double track, and there's a WASI system to the BC, and all of those things are very like theory based. And Ghana, they don't focus on like your vocational skills as much.
Yeah.
When you go to school, it's all STEM. Like it's only important if you are going to do sciences, if you are going to do engineering, or you are doing something math. If you are not doing anything like that, it's like
If you want to be a doctor,
Yeah.
I've actually
those things
got
are-
sorry, I've got a comment here by someone. And someone said that this is such an important discussion. Western education provides a solid foundation in sciences and technology, but the African education has a deep-rooted traditions that teach life skills and communal values. We need to strike a balance between the two, which is true.
Yeah, because the focus isn't, in my opinion, the focus isn't on the education bit of it, like the practicality and the theory, as much as like when you go to school, they care more about, oh, like you have to do your hair this way, you're supposed to wear your uniform this way, you're supposed to wear this type of shoe, like
Doctrine
all
that's not necessary.
those things are necessary. Why are we
Yeah.
focusing on that? Like at the end of the day, we're trying to educate, we're trying to raise an entire generation.
Right.
So why is that your focus?
Focus
Even
on-
in like my school, and I hope I don't get into trouble for this, but when in my high school, it was a trivial things, like we're allowed to have braids, but then your hair has to be in a bun during the school day, and if your hair is into the bun, they are going to descend on you, like they are hunting you down because your hair is not in a bun. But at the end of the day, my hair is not distracting me from what I'm learning. So why is that your focus? Like why is that what you're thinking about?
in all fairness, that is a problem even here. Because remember, we did a topic on when you had an afro hair and you went to school.
I mean,
You were
just shave it off.
discriminated because they say your head, you don't look professional. Even when, so I think the reason why that was implemented, and I think it wasn't explained to you guys, was because the Western world, you have to look a certain way to be deemed as professional. So it's like even if you're in a class and your hair, because I remember this topic in America, all those stuff, they said that if you're a black person, your hair has to be in a bun.
Yeah.
You have to be dressed a certain way. Because, and even one of the things that came up is the way we speak. You know, like when you're talking to your friends, you've got your slang and stuff. But when you go to work,
You have to be
you have to be
professional.
proper.
Yeah.
So we always have work
Code
etiquette. We've
switch.
got,
Code
code
switch.
switch. 100%. The
Definitely
way
have
you
the code
talk in an
switch.
office. Because I remember there was one time that I was talking to somebody and all of a sudden I was at work. And the next thing I kind of switched. And then she goes, "Oh my God, you sound proper white." And I said, "No, I'm at work." You understand? So sometimes it's kind of like with us, but you don't see that with our white counterparts. The way they sound is the way they sound. So, you know, when you were talking about this, the reason why I was laughing was we go through the same thing, but sometimes now you think you're the only ones that go through. But just imagine you being born here, you growing up with your white counterparts.
Yeah,
And
you
you
go
can
through it.
come to school and then, because you went to school, you can go to school and then all of a sudden, the way you dress is like you come to school and you're wearing an earring. And you are deemed to be a gangster. You do your hair. Because I remember I used to black my kids say, "Oh, you've done your hair. You're looking a certain way." And the white kid can come in, not have his bath, look really mush up, and he ain't going to be judged on that.
Whoa.
No, but what I'm saying,
No, it's true. It actually is true. It is true. I mean, like, when you think about it, I always say that it's not,
Okay.
it's not would I say, we're born here, we're British born, but it's not really. It's not really.
You're
our country,
British born,
but
but
it's
you
not-
are black.
We're
You are
black.
seen black.
We're still black. There's still a disparity. There's still a difference.
That
between
divide.
the two.
Even though there's this blind
Yeah.
segregation.
Yeah.
Without, it's kind of automatically because it's like you're going on the street.
Yeah.
And I always say this thing that you see 5 black kids with 1 white guy. They will say that, oh, the black guy is influencing the white guy. And you see 1 white guy, you see a bunch of white guys and a black guy. Oh, and they are copying. It's kind of like the reverse. It's always the black guy that is the negative.
Yeah.
Okay, before we've only got a few minutes more to go. Yeah. So I want you to give us, if we need to change the narrative in terms of the developing world, the Western world, the developing world trying to change the narrative. What do you think can be the first steps to it? How do we do that?
I think it's definitely a mindset thing. They need to be able to change their mindset and be able to unlearn certain things and be open to learning new things. They need to start thinking more about being practical, because at the end of the day, you can learn so many things, but if you don't know how to apply it, then what's the use of your knowledge? You need to be able to know how to apply it. And also the language thing, because my dad is always saying this thing that you can't teach a Ghanaian English and then expect the Ghanaian to be able to express themselves well or express themselves as well as the white people would do, because that's not their language. That's not where they come from. So when you teach them in a language they understand, then they are more confident, they are better suited to go out and then express themselves because they are educated in their own language. So whatever the case may be, they have that asset.
Like the Chinese.
Exactly. But if they don't have that asset, if they don't have that one thing that they can like hold to themselves and they are exposing them to the foreign system forever, it's going to be difficult for them to adapt because they always feel like they are inferior. Like,
okay, so you mean the identity, what they have to be able
Identity.
to, Okay, thank you, Nana.
I say obviously that's more groundwork in terms of change, but I just feel like I can't speak on it too much because obviously I didn't school in Ghana and whatnot, but one thing I did notice, like I said, was just
when you sat in an IMF meetings.
No, not even that, and just specifically to do with like after education, you see how you were saying how they baby feed here in this country, and it's like you can come out of school slow and whatnot. I don't think that's possible there, and I feel like there definitely does need to be more support systems as you're growing up and you're moving into the outer world and moving out of education and trying to find jobs and whatnot. I feel like if there was more support there, I feel like the motivation will come with it. It will come hand in hand, and then that works for a better economy. You know, everybody, there'll be more job opportunities. I feel like it should be thrown at them. You get it? It should be thrown at people coming out of education, and yeah, you get it? I think that's how you grow an economy.
I would say that I want to remind people that education is not limited to the traditional courses of just sciences, doctors, lawyers, and all that kind of stuff. It's not limited to that. I feel like as we're growing and that technology is expanding, there are different elements of education as well, whether that might be a graphic designer, where that might be vocational, just other things that you can do. And I want to remind people that you are not limited to those things. And I do want to encourage the systems that are back home that like look into expanding your platter of like courses so that people have a willingness or a hope or some excitement about doing some things that's just beyond the norm. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Do you see what I'm saying? Because I feel like just the doctor, the lawyer stuff, the solicitor, and those things. Yeah, it's not available. And plus, when you just have those small things, it's overly saturated in the country when other jobs are necessary. If you don't have a graphic designer, your graphics are going to be looking like it's from 1995. Do you see what I'm trying to say? If you don't have a good engineer, it's just going to be. Do you know what I mean? So I think like
I can agree with that because even me myself, obviously, I did study economics and whatnot, but over the years, I did lose a little bit of passion for it and became more of a creative. And stepping into the creative industry, you can see that there's so many jobs that are necessary, that pay, that build an economy, and it's like I feel like if you stick to those traditional roles and whatnot, you'll be very saturated. But there's so much more. There's so much more, and I feel like everybody will find their passion in all these other things. Instead, if you're just so focused on the traditional sciences and whatnot, it's gonna feel like you're forced. It's gonna feel like a job. And you're not going to want to do it. You get it? Yeah.
And quickly, just to say that, like, it's not to say that those traditional roles are not good. I think they're good as a standard and as a core foundational, as a basic. Do you know what I mean? I think trade skills are good to have as a basic. General knowledge as maths and English are good to have a basic. But allow people to grow into other departments because I think that helps towards the development and the expansion of the country as well. Yeah. So that's what I would say to her.
Okay, so you lot said it all. I'm not going to take that much time. No. I'm really proud of you guys because you've said it all. Because that's what I'm saying. There's the youth opinions that we want. Because as a elderly person, they referred. But I want to thank my producer. I want to thank Sister Dansua behind the scenes, and I want to thank Omega TV UK for giving us this platform for the youth. And I keep saying that this is the only platform that gives you guys the voice, because I would say this show was done because of my niece who passed away 5 years ago on Sunday. They used to come to me, they used to chat, Veronita, they used to chat and everything. And I want to thank the viewers too for taking the time to watch us. And please, I want you to share. I always keep saying this to you guys out there, that if I was wearing my booty shorts, I'm telling you that I get 16.5 million views. So you guys push this, because the youth is the future. And I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch us. Have a lovely evening, and we love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Omega TV UK, your global media channel. African stories and global perspectives. Immerse yourself in inspirational and engaging content that speaks to everyone. From captivating talk shows and thought-provoking documentaries to live events, sports, music, and lifestyle programs. Omega TV UK offers something for every taste and interest. We take pride in being a channel for everyone, emphasizing culturally rich content that celebrates the beauty, diversity, and heritage of Africa through the lens of the diaspora. Our mission is to promote inclusivity while delivering entertainment that resonates with a broad and dynamic audience. Stay tuned to Omega TV UK, the station known for its vibrant and culturally enriching content. Together, let's explore and celebrate the essence of Africa and its global influence. Omega TV UK, connecting cultures, inspiring minds. Omega TV UK, your global media channel. African stories and global perspectives. Immerse yourself in inspirational and engaging content that speaks to everyone. From captivating talk shows and thought-provoking documentaries to live events, sports, music, and lifestyle programs. Omega TV UK offers something for every taste and interest. We take pride in being a channel for everyone, emphasizing culturally rich content that celebrates the beauty, diversity, and heritage of Africa through the lens of the diaspora. Our mission is to promote inclusivity while delivering entertainment that resonates with a broad and dynamic audience. Stay tuned to Omega TV UK, the station known for its vibrant and culturally enriching content. Together, let's explore and celebrate the essence of Africa and its global influence. Omega TV UK, connecting cultures, inspiring minds. Omega TV UK, your global media channel. African stories and global perspectives. Immerse yourself in inspirational and engaging content that speaks to everyone. From captivating talk shows and thought-provoking documentaries to live events, sports, music, and lifestyle programs. Omega TV UK offers something for every taste and interest. We take pride in being a channel for everyone, emphasizing culturally rich content that celebrates the beauty, diversity, and heritage of Africa through the lens of the diaspora. Our mission is to promote inclusivity while delivering entertainment that resonates with a broad and dynamic audience. Stay tuned to Omega TV UK, the station known for its vibrant and culturally enriching content. Together, let's explore and celebrate the essence of Africa and its global influence. Omega TV UK, connecting cultures, inspiring minds.